Hey, welcome to Digging into the Bible. My name is Jim Barnard. This is a production of Tiller Coaching. Okay, it's day 49, and before we get into today's section, I just want to point out that from kind of this point forward, we're seeing a lot of overlap between what's happening in the book of Acts and what happens in the, not the entire rest, but a lot of the rest of the New Testament. Paul writes a ton of letters in the New Testament to a bunch of these churches that he helped establish, and he's writing to encourage them, exhort them, to edify them, to just help them understand and to grow, and to provide context in a lot of different ways. So for instance, there's the book of Philippians, and it's Paul's letter to the church at Philippi, and that's being established real time in this section and in kind of this time frame. So it's just kind of cool to see how Acts will kind of give more context that will be helpful for some of these other letters, and also give kind of like a great history lesson of how all of this got established. So there's some backdrop. Let's go ahead and dig in. This is Acts chapter 16, starting at verse 16. As we were going to the place of prayer, we were met by a slave girl who had a spirit of divination and brought her owners much gain by fortune telling. She followed Paul and us, crying out, "These men are servants of the Most High God, who proclaim to you the way of salvation." And this she kept doing for many days. Paul, having become greatly annoyed, turned and said to the spirit, "I command you in the name of Jesus Christ to come out of her." And it came out of her that very hour. But when her owners saw that their hope of gain was gone, they seized Paul and Silas and dragged them into the marketplace before the rulers. And when they had brought them to the magistrates, they said, "These men are Jews, and they are disturbing our city. They advocate customs that are not lawful for us as Romans to accept or practice." The crowd joined in attacking them, and the magistrates tore the garments off them and gave orders to beat them with rods. And when they had inflicted many blows upon them, they threw them into prison, ordering the jailer to keep them safely. Having received this order, he put them into the inner prison and fastened their feet in the stocks. So, first of all, this crazy girl, she wasn't lying. So she's demon-possessed, and she's mockingly telling the truth. And it's so interesting to me that Paul didn't stop this sooner. He allows it to go on for days. We see in the Gospels, we saw this in Matthew, that Jesus would stop it right away. These demon-possessed people would come up to Jesus and be like, "I know you're Jesus, I know you're the Son of God," and Jesus would be like, "Nope, not gonna do it." He shuts it down. He sends them off. Paul finally does it, but it's like this act of great annoyance after several days, and there's no real detail to why Paul waited so long. Maybe because he was, Jesus was trying to squelch the news about his true identity for a while, and so it wasn't helpful for them to be revealing it. And Paul is out sharing that reality that Jesus is King, that he's the Lord, he's the Messiah, and that's exactly what this crazy girl's doing. I don't know, but so he finally exorcises that demon, and this girl finally becomes useless to her owners. They're not going to be able to profit off of her demon-given ability to fortune tell, and I'm sure they are making bank off of her, and so this really frustrates them. They storm down after seizing Paul and Silas, and they take them down to the marketplace, the city center, and and goes to the town leaders, and are like, yeah, these people are doing illegal things, in this Roman community. This is illegal for them to do, especially as outsiders, to be raising up a spiritual figure, someone who isn't the Roman emperor, who is deified at this point. It is legal to believe in God. Jewish customs are totally acceptable, even if they aren't really happening in Philippi. They are totally allowed, but the murkiness is that the fame of Jesus feels like something different than worshiping God, because it was a man of Galilee, and if we're going to worship a man, it's got to be the emperor. And so, Paul and Silas get beaten and just destroyed, and they're thrown into prison, and this feels very terrible. And by all means, it is terrible. But just like always, something terrible happens, turns into something actually really great. And so we will see how this actually turns out great tomorrow. I know that doesn't seem to make sense. Like, if you put yourself in the shoes of Paul or Silas, like, I'm not trying to get beat like that and put in jail for anything. And I understand that, but something really great does happen tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I will see you tomorrow as we continue on with the story. I'll see you then.